Julia Herz from the Craft Beer Program Director joining me right now. Explain to me a little bit about what the American Craft Beer Week is.
Sure. American Craft Beer Week is 7 years strong and the once-a-year annual celebration that literally hundreds of breweries and thousands of locations across the U.S. in all 50 states celebrate this week. And it's one way to kind of take a moment and acknowledge the incredible changes that have gone on for beer in the U.S. We have, pre-1980, we had 40 some odd brewing companies, and today we've got those 2,000 plus breweries. And for the entire beverage of beer, the U.S. now, which used to only be known kind of as a one-destination country, meaning you'd really only find light American lager, now we document 140 beer styles available, and we're the number one destination in the world for beer. And this is a small business success story because the small brewers are what brought back innovation and full flavor to beer. And so that's what we do at American Craft Beer Week, is we allow our breweries and retailers that proudly offer a lot of different beers we give them a way to celebrate, and beer lovers, tens of thousands of them, also participate and toast what's going on today.
You know, I was kind of trying to look around to see what's going on around in Houston next week, and I'm sorry to say I was kind of disappointed because I really didn't see much. I mean, what can people do to really, participate in craft beer in the week? I mean, does it just have to be the brewers, or what can the patrons do?
Sure. Great question. How do you celebrate American Craft Beer Week as a beer lover? Craftbeer.com has the official calendar of events if you want to check that out.
Can you give that website again?
Craftbeer.com has the official calendar of events for American Craft Beer Week. And in your neck of the woods, Flying Saucer is celebrating. Rahr & Sons, which is a brewery that's expanding their pickup in different markets, is definitely doing stuff. You've got Old Chicago's doing a craft beer mini tour tasting, which is great. And then beyond what you can go out and do, you can also, as I was, wanting many beer lovers to consider, is have a tasting at home and go to your local liquor store that has the largest selection and pick up U.S. craft beers from breweries that you might not have tried yet and breweries that are your old favorites, and do a tasting for some of your friends at home. Huge way to do it. We've also got Declaration of Beer Independence is on craftbeer.com. It's a way of declaring your beer independence. You can sign that document or get others to sign it. So many, many ways to kind of toast the times of today during American Craft Beer Week.
If they want to host a event like that at their house, a sampling, but they don't know what kind of beers to get, I mean, where do they start?
Yeah, hard thing to figure out, and you bring up a sign of the times where I kind of call what's going on today with the shift to enjoying craft beer from small producers beyond enjoying light American lager as a market-driven demand as opposed to a marketing-driven demand. And today's craft beers they're marketed as non-gender specific beverages, and what I've seen as a beer lover, they're not marketed with huge, for the most part, TV advertising dollars. And for people that are demanding these beers be made, and frankly, there's more demand than supply right now from the small producers, have opened their mind and had an opportunity to say, I want fuller flavored beers in the mix. And so that's a great question, but I think we are at the tipping point to how do we get more people to understand and open their minds and change up those six-packs sometimes. I think we're at the tipping point now, and the more beer lovers of today can taste craft beers with those that aren't into it but maybe at least open to trying, then that's, one pint at a time is what's going to change the tide.
In the last 5 years, we've seen a nice little hike in the craft beer, scene. And what do you predict the next 5 years to look like?
Yeah, great question. You might have your answers, and I'd be curious. I think more to come on breweries opening. Of the 2,000 breweries in the United States today, we have another 1,000 in planning. That's an incredible testament of what's going on. And a big bulk of those are considered nano breweries or very, very small production breweries, often hobbyist brewers that have still gone through the compliance and the legal aspect to get commercial. And so you're really going to continue to see, even on a more micro level, this localization of beer. So that's a great thing. And I think that there is no turning back now that the analogy I heard recently is this is like rock and roll to music. And now that we've all heard the rock and roll, we've got many variations to whet our appetite even further. It's
exciting to see all these breweries popping up and more people going, there are some great beers out there. We just recently had a festival, the Texas Beer Festival, which focused all on craft beer, and the turnout was just amazing. And everyone I spoke to was just, we're here to appreciate the beer. It wasn't a drunk fest. It was there to just celebrate the art of it and just how great it is. And I appreciate people like Julia Hertz, who's on the phone with me, and for everything you do. And one thing that really, really impressed me about you is the Cicerone certification that you carry. Now, a lot of people, they don't really know what the Cicerone certification is. So can you explain what that is?
Sure, and everything you say, James, you're preaching to the choir, because it's funny when you connect with another beer geek, you just get excited, and it's so easy to talk about all the happenings going on, and it's exciting times,
Absolutely.
Historic beer times, for sure. I would say that asked what is the Cicerone program, that it's kind of the beer world's version of a wine sommelier. Most everybody has heard of that. Many restaurants employ sommeliers. And frankly, created by one of my mentors and the predecessor to my position at the Brewers Association, a program was created called the Cicerone program, and that would mean to be an educator or a guide on matters of historic or cultural interest. And I think that really does apply to what the Cicerone program is bringing to beer. There's 3 different levels. Certified beer server is the first level. There's more than 13,000 people that have achieved that certification. You can take that test online. And then there's certified Cicerone, which is the second level. There's about 500 of us, and that's in the world, and that is a more intensive test. And then there's also the master level Cicerone, of which I'm a student of that program. Very difficult 2-day test, and there's only 4 master level Cicerones in the world. But it's all things beer. It's about beer service. It's about draft system and maintenance. It's about beer and food pairing. It's about beer style and history. It's about beer tasting and evaluation. So we've got these awesome places that are taking beer from today's small breweries and presenting them, such as restaurants or better beer providers. We need people in those establishments that fully understand the depth of how things can be presented and should be presented at their best. I mean, you want to try to not take it too seriously, but it's great to be educated in all things that people have come to learn about wine. There's even more complexity with beer because it's often served as a draft product. So education is important and vital to the success of what's going on. And so anyone interested in kind of wanting to further their beer journey, the Cicerone program is definitely one of those out there that helps people do that.
How much longer before you have your master?
I hope this next test, because it hurt not to pass it.
Is there any last things you want to get out there for the people that maybe we didn't discuss?
Sure. I think Texas has an interesting evolution going on in what's going on for beer, and I think anyone can do their best to support their local brewery and kind of help move the movement along. But you guys are definitely becoming a destination for beer, which is a beautiful thing. And it would be an honor to drink a beer with you one day, fine sir. And
yeah, let's make that happen.
I will keep in touch and remember you. And I just hope everybody does take a moment next week, whether you're at home or at an establishment, to tip your hat to the small and independent producers in the U.S. and to have a great American Craft Beer Week.
Again, it's Julia Herz, Craft Beer Program Director for the Brewers Association and publisher of craftbeer.com and a certified Cicerone. Julia, I really appreciate the time and access, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Yes, let me know if you come out to Great American Beer Festival too one day.
Absolutely. I'm gonna try to get out there this year. Hopefully you'll see me out there.
All right. Well, take care. Thanks for having me.